might wait a little bit and see if anyone else hops on. I've moved over here to YouTube because I used to do these over on Instagram, and I've hopped on today to record the live and show you some of the stuff I've got coming up from my Destash page, and Instagram's not letting me do that anymore. So they're now saying that you need to have 1,000 followers or more to be able to do live streaming. I'm going to have about a third of that, so might be a while before I can do live streaming on Instagram again, which is a pain in the butt. I wonder if you guys can even hear me. I'll take that speaker. I've had 2 speakers in and that's might not be working. Okay. So once again, I'm just waiting. I thought there'd be a few of you over here this afternoon, but I had to postpone the live. I was hoping to go in, come on at about 2 p.m. this afternoon, Sydney time, but my son turned up just on 2 o'clock, I think, just before 2 o'clock to collect firewood. So I've been down cutting firewood. I'm a bit grubby. I've broken some nails, so forgive my grubby hands while I'm showing you these things, but I did promise that I'd do a live this afternoon, so that's what I'm going to do. I am drinking a beer because I thought I deserved it today. I don't often drink beer, but yeah, I've been cutting firewood, so I thought I'd have one. So I suppose I should get started to give you this sneak peek instead of just making you sit here waiting for something to start. So I started curating another kit to upload. I just noticed that there's a thread there where I unpicked it. I'll have to get that out later. So this is the beginnings of a kit. It's not completed yet. I will be adding more items to this one. And there are a couple of things in here I'm not sure about, especially this fabric. I'm not sure I'll keep that one in there. It's just not working for me. So I should flip it over and start. I might do that if I can. Hang on guys, bear with. Okay, see if I can do it from the base down. So this is the first piece I picked for this kit, for textile kit. The last few I did, I put some really big pieces of wool in there, so you could make what are they called? What would you call it? Like a quilt book to keep your quilt blocks in while you're working on them, I suppose. But I thought if I make the kits up, the textile kits, and you can do whatever you want with them. I'm running out of wool the right colour though, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get the wool in these. I might do, but this is the piece that started the kit. It's absolutely gorgeous. I hope you can see that. I've got a different phone today. And I'm not, from what I can see, I'm not overly impressed with the video on it. Let's tilt you down a little bit. See if that's a bit better. So we've got this piece for the start of the kit, and then I got this one. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? They're both linen. They're not a matching pair, but they do work well. And then I pulled, it's a bit wibbly wobbly, but I thought I'd add this piece in the kit. Look at that, a piece of Point de Venise, I suppose you'd call it. This one's a bit different to the one I've got over there. I'll have to double check if that's what this one's called. Oh, yeah, here's some tape. But mainly the edges are done in blanket stitch on this one. This is all hand crafted. It's been rescued from a large tablecloth that was given to me, but it was all cut up. One end was cut off, and so I thought a piece of that would work well in this kit. So I've got that bit. Got some bits of fabric that I thought work well with it. Hang on. It works quite well with that one. This is a vintage fabric. This one's from the 90s, mid-90s, this one. There's another bit. A couple of bits of fabric there. This, or is it? I think this one's a fat quarter. I'll have to double check now. I've pulled this bit, but I'm not sure about it. Of course, it's vintage cotton sheeting. But I thought it sort of pulled in. See the greens on the tray mat here. I thought it sort of pulls it all in together a bit. I've got this lovely, look at this, hand crocheted napkin with filet lace in the corner. So I've added that as well in this kit. Very pretty. It's cotton. It's all cotton. But I thought it would go well with it. Imagine that as a page in a needle book. Look at that. Lovely. And then of course we've got a doily, a cotton doily. She's a little bit yellowed, that one. I might have to give her a soak, I think, or swap it. I didn't notice that mark on it inside, so we might swap that one out. But I should have a crochet doily included in this kit. And then I've got this lovely, I thought this lovely little, look at that, it's a poppy. I thought it was a rose at first, but this bit here, see the hairy seed pod with the flower bud coming out, makes me think it's poppy. This is quite an old one, this one. You can tell the feel of the linen is quite, it's lovely fabric. It's just a bit thin and it starches really well. What's this one? I've got this napkin there as well, but yeah, not sure now. It works. I mean, we've got white and ecru, but that's on a white background. So, and I've got this little piece of wool felt, which works with it. You'd use that to put needles in, I guess. And then this beautiful linen fingertip towel that someone has embroidered with all this beautiful cross stitch. Look at that. So you've got all this fabric to work with. It's beautiful linen. It feels divine. And then you've got the other half here. You know, you can work with all that. There's plenty of fabric there to work with. I also thought that would be good as a page in a textile book. It smells really good too. You know, you need smell-o-vision. You can tell the bits that I've soaked and washed because they smell really good. And then I've got this hanky that I thought might work in it. I've used hankies before as pockets in needle books or to embellish needle books. So I thought that was pretty cool. That all works well with it. It's a vintage hanky, of course, probably from the 80s or 90s, that one. And then I thought I'd throw in this piece of reclaimed vintage embroidery on a bit of linen. And I've got a vintage soft cotton, DMC cotton. That's all I've got so far for this kit, okay? But that's what I'm working on. Hopefully I'll have that ready for the next drop. I'd like to get a few more kits pulled together because you guys seem to like them. Okay, now I'm going to show you a sneak peek of some of the other stuff that I'll be doing in the next drop. I don't know when it'll be, possibly this Sunday night. I'm hoping for Sunday night, but it's Monday. Okay, now I'm not entirely sure what this is. Obviously it's a bib, but it looks too big for a child to me, like the neck, see the neckline? That would fit an adult. And it's got this crocheted crinoline lady on it. There's a bit of linen thread on there. So yeah, I've got this little number. Not, as I said, not exactly sure what its purpose was. Potentially it could have been for someone in an aged care facility or a care home or something, potentially. I mean, it's not going to cover much. It's not a big, you know, if that was put on me, it's not even going to come down to my breastbone, I don't think. Maybe just. But anyway, I've got that guy. I've got a handful of doilies. There's still more to come, but some of these may go in kits at this stage. I'm not sure yet. This one's quite pretty. It's an older one. You can just tell by the quality of the linen that they're older. I would guess this one's probably pre-1950s, maybe as back as the 20s or 30s. Looking at the linen, the crocheting, the way it's been stitched, you know, there's a few different telltale signs. Well, it gives you a rough idea anyway. This is another old one. There's a pair of these. Unfortunately, we've got some rust stains on this one, but it's very pretty. And then its mate. So the mate's got a hole in it, unfortunately. So they're old. They're very old, those ones. That linen is almost threadbare. Okay, this is a pretty one. This one might go in a kit yet. Look at this. A very cute little, looks like it reminds me of a little Japanese ginger jar, Chinese ginger jar or something. But then there's these beautiful trailing vines coming out of it. So I've got that one. This one is one I've dug up recently, and it actually matches a tray mat that I've still got. Exactly the same pattern, same crochet, same linen fabric. So not sure what I'm going to do with that one yet. This one's unique. I should be showing you. Again, I believe this is probably an older one. The stitching is a little bit, well, it's quite fine, but it's a bit layered. You can see this mauve bit and these yellow bits here. They're satin stitch and they've been padded. So my guess is there's probably chain stitch or something underneath them, but they've definitely been padded. And then this flower here is lazy daisy stitch, and it looks like they've laid down red lazy daisy stitches first, and then a variegated pink and white over the top. And isn't it a fantastic effect? So yeah, we've got that little guy. It's quite fine. This greenery down here, this variegated green, is very fine. Looks like back stitch. No, stem stitch. Unfortunately, she's a bit threadbare up here, but that's a lovely little one. This one of you bought a tray cloth from me recently with this on. I could hook up who it was. But she's a little bit worn as well. Beautiful little robin. And we've got a hole and some rust stains, unfortunately, but lovely embroidery. Look at that. Look at the back side. Very sweet little piece, that one. And we've got this little guy. This one's quite fine too. And it's funny, you can see here they've done second row of crochet, so they've done the foundation stitch all the way around. Then they've come through and done chain and secured the chain, and then they've come and put single crochet around that chain, and it's all come undone here. I don't know where that's gone, but there's a section there that's come undone. That could easily be repaired if you were so inclined. This is a beautiful tray cloth. It's got some yellowing on it though that I just can't shift. But look at that, very pretty. Beautiful linen, very pretty embroidery, pretty colours. a bit of a lacy crocheted edge. This next one, I'm thinking this might go in a kit. I'm not sure yet, but it's very pretty cross-stitched rose. And I don't believe that fabric's linen. I don't know what you'd call it. I don't think it's cotton. If it is, it's a blend. I've come across this fabric before. I need to find out what it is, because my memory's not allowing me to remember what sort of fabric it is. I keep coming up with fabric names, but it's not what's in my head. Now I've got this beautiful handmade Point de Venise table runner, and it's quite exquisite, the work that's gone into this. So if you don't know how this is made, I did learn to do this once many years ago. What you normally do is you get how I learned, traditionally it would have been done differently, I suppose, because this technique is probably hundreds of years old. So what you do is you get your design on a piece of paper, and we used to put contact on it to make it a bit more secure. And then you get this tape, so see this braided bit here? That's usually in a tape. This actually looks like this person has plaited that with something like a stranded DMC or something, because it's all tiny little strands of cotton. It's not mercerised or anything. So you get this tape and you pin it onto the design, and everywhere it crosses over you stitch it down. And then you come along with a needle and you build up this outline, this blanket stitch outline around these shapes. All this blanket stitch outline is all needle stitched with blanket stitch. And then these bars are pretty well done the same way, so you run the thread across the design, and then you come back with your cotton and your needle, and you do this blanket stitch all the way over the bars. And then once your outline's all laid down and stitched together, you then come back with your needle and thread and do all this little needle woven needle lace in between. This is almost a weave stitch, this one, but this is all different needle lace. So there's 2 blanket stitch in each of these loops here, and you usually go in one direction and work back in the other direction. Most of this netting is done the same way. There's some weave stitch for the border around here. It's incredible how they're constructed. So yes, we've got this Point de Venise table runner that will be coming up. Okay, next I've got, I'll be offering a couple of corners, and that's the back, so that's not very helpful, is it? It's inside out. Let's try and flip it so you can actually see what's going on. This is how bad the lighting is inside my house. I didn't even see that I'd folded it inside out, back to front. So now I'm just folding it back the opposite way so you can see it. So I will be offering up probably 2 quarters of this. It does have some yellow stains on it that I can't shift, and that's one of the reasons why it's been deconstructed. So I usually keep 1 or 2 for myself, 1 for me and 1 for my daughter, but this, I will be offering up a quarter of these. So, don't know if you can see, there's one of those yellow marks there. I could potentially soak it again. Sometimes if I give it a second go and leave it in for a few days, sometimes that shifts it. But what I've found is over the coming weeks, it tends to reappear again. So I don't know what that is. I need to do more research and find out what's going on there. But these lilies, if you buy a quarter, you'll get 3 lilies. They're absolutely beautifully embroidered. Look at that. I don't know if this is focusing well. try and, don't know if that really helped, did it? So this one will be, what's the words I'm looking for, crikey. I'll be offering up probably 2/4 of this one, these beautiful lilies, and there'll be 3 lilies on each quarter. This one will be the same. This one will be offered up as quarters. This one feels like a much older linen. The embroidery on this is incredible. It's all, see these flowers? It's all blanket stitch. So there's rows and rows of blanket stitch. So they've done the outline, okay, and then they've done blanket stitch around the outline, and then they've come back and they've done a row of blanket stitch into the back of that, and they've just alternated in direction like this. There's so much work in this, it's amazing. But I'll be offering up a couple of quarters of this piece as well. Beautiful, beautiful. In the centre of these pansies, they've done a bit of pulled thread work. See how it's a bit lacy in there, tiny little bits, but beautifully embroidered. Absolutely exquisite. The green and the brown is quite fine. It's all stem stitch by the looks. And the back is almost as perfect as the front. But again, she's got some damage and some stains, so I'll be offering up quarters of this one. Look at that. Beautiful. Again, beautiful linen. It's quite difficult to show it out here. Now this next one is a pillowcase, and there's only the one. It's got this lovely, how can I show you? It's folded in half. It's got this lovely fluted edge around it. It has had a soak, but it does have some yellowing on it still. And it has this beautiful embroidered flower. I might throw that in for another soak actually. It looks like, to me, like that those marks are sitting on top. It has been soaked, but I wonder if it's from the iron. I do clean the iron regularly, but yeah, that very pretty little pillowcase. There's a lot of fabric there. I'm not sure if this is cotton or linen. It does look and feel a lot like linen. And you don't normally do this Italian hem stitch in cotton. I mean, it's not impossible, but so put that one in for another soak, hey, but that one will be coming up. Now, it looks like it's all surface marking. It's a bit weird, that one. It smells good too. But that one will be being offered. Then I've got this poor piece of, it's beautiful. And the quality of this cotton is incredible. I don't know how to describe it. It just feels like nothing you'd get today. But this beautiful filet lace square that someone has crocheted. She has issues. There is a hole nearly in the centre here where my finger's sticking through. There's another one on this side. I mean, this could be repaired if you know how to crochet. It just looks like a treble, potentially. It's just a typical filet lace stitch, and one of the edges is becoming unravelled. I have tied it off. I haven't had the chance to dig out a crochet hook and redo it, but it wouldn't be too hard if you were so inclined to continue that back to that corner to complete it again. But a lovely piece of filet lace crochet there that there's usually one or two of you that really like that sort of thing. So I thought I'd pull her out. I'm sliding off my chair. I'm going to have another drink. Excuse me for a moment. I'm very thirsty. Okay, here's another tray mat that's coming up. Look at the satin stitch, padded satin stitch on this. It's exquisite. Look at that. Absolutely perfect stitching. You can barely even tell that there's threads there, that it's been stitched. The light's not great, is it? But look at that. Absolutely exquisite stitching on that. And then I'll turn over the back. Look at that. It's almost identical. You can see little tails here where there's been a knot or a tie off. But apart from that, it's almost identical to the front. So that is a beautifully, beautifully piece of stitched linen, hand stitched. And then interestingly, this edge that they've done, they haven't crocheted it. That's needle weaving all the way around there. So very, very unusual, very pretty piece, that one. I've then got this tray mat with a matching napkin, and it's all hand constructed. Very pretty little applique, vintage applique. Here we go, look at that. Isn't she gorgeous? Actually, that might be machine stitched by the look of it. It's interesting. The detail on the butterfly has been hand stitched, and that's machine stitched up there as well. No, it's all machine stitched, I think. I've never seen one done with a machine before. Well, there you go. But it is vintage. I'd say potentially 60s or 70s. I can't see anything, any marks, any stains on this. There's a bit of silk fluff on it. But yes, we've got the tray mat, or the placemat, and a matching napkin for that one. Isn't it sweet? So I can just see Grandma sitting there having her early dinner or supper with her little serviette and napkin. I used to see elderly men used to have them. I suppose their wives would set them up for them. The elderly men I remember, my grandfather was one, they rarely ate at the same time. The women would serve the meals and then they would eat later. Okay, I've got this beautiful, I don't think it's cross-stitched. It's really hard to tell. Someone has started this. It's beautifully worked. This fabric, this foundation fabric, feels like wool to me. It's or a linen wool blend. It's not linen. It's not pure linen, that's for sure. It does have some rust marks. I'd assume that's potentially from needle that's been left in it. It hasn't been completed. It's a beautiful piece of work. I don't think it's cross-stitch. It could be. The back of it looks like cross-stitch. But the front, if it is cross-stitch, it is cross-stitch, sorry. I can see it now. Yeah. But we've got this piece. It's been started here through the centre of the fabric. Beautiful, almost tribal design, isn't it? But then it's not completed. We get to here and there's a gap. You can see that this has been in a frame, and where the frame has been, this bit's a bit better to show you. It's actually pulled the warp and the weft into, see that? To me it looks like it's been in a circular embroidery frame, because when you hold it up you can almost see the circle shape. So I've got that. It's a lovely piece of fabric, as I've mentioned. It's I'm fairly certain it's wool or wool blend. It's a bit, I can't remember seeing like an Ada type fabric made from wool before. I mean, it's certainly not impossible, that's for sure. But it's a proper, you can see the selvage is all properly woven like an Ada. But yeah, lovely piece of fabric, that one. Okay, what else got here? Here's a beautiful tablecloth I'll be offering a couple of corners from. And this one has these, and we've got lilies again. There's a bit of a theme happening here, isn't there? Look at this. How can I hold it to show you? Look at that beautiful embroidery. I don't think this is linen, this one. I think it's a cotton. It almost feels like a canvas or a drill, but the embroidery is exquisite. And again, she has some issues. There's some stains and some marks and some holes and some... She's quite a bright white, that one. The crochet edge is a bit, how can I explain that? Loose, I suppose. Beautiful lace. Someone's put a lot of work into it. But it's quite loosely crocheted, that one. Okay, then we've got this little ecru coloured supper cloth. And she's all hand embroidered. And we've got, someone's done this blanket stitch all the way around on this scalloped edge. And we've got this beautiful, look at that. These little blooms, there's a little bit of eyelet, some eyelet work here. That's willow barking at the little girl that lives down the road. She usually calls out to her. So yeah, this lovely little ecru coloured supper cloth, and again, I don't think this one's linen. I think it is it's a heavier weight cotton. Beautiful fabric and beautiful embroidery. Okay, I've got another little supper cloth. This one is white on white cut work. Again, hand embroidered. Just making sure I've got it facing the right way this time. Very pretty. How can I show this on the screen? That's one of the corners. All the corners are the same. Beautifully embroidered. This looks like this Italian hem stitch has been done by machine, but I'm fairly certain. Oh, maybe not. No, it's machine embroidered. I apologise. I thought it was hand, but I can see now it's machine embroidered. It's got lovely details in the centre as well. It's really hard to get it all in the shot. That's the centre. Bloody traffic around here. They all drive really noisy vehicles and it frustrates the life out of me sometimes. Okay, this next one is a really special one, I think. I'm hesitating to let go of this one. We have I think it's a tablecloth. It's a bit bigger than a supper cloth. And I believe, I may be wrong, but this to me looks and feels like a linen silk blend. She has some marks on her. It's an off-white colour, almost a grey. But in each corner, look at this. We've got this incredible needle lace work. It's all hand embroidered. But we've got this like pulled thread work in the cherries. There's cherries here. And we've got this beautiful, I don't know what you call it, a flourish. And there's another cherry here. But then look, we've got knife. Let me try and get it in the screen. Knife, fork up here, and spoon. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's also, that's in every corner, the same design. And then I'm pretty sure, yes, there's more worked in the centre as well. So that's 1/4 of the centre. There's threads on there. Oh, what on earth? Huh. It looks like it's been stitched. Maybe the napkins were stitched to it because there's matching napkins. So I'll have to double check that. It's not a pull. I think something's been stitched onto it. So here we go. We've got fork and spoon in the centre. Let's see this side. Fork and spoon. Oh, fork and knife on the diagonals. Oh no, spoons. Yeah. So beautifully hand worked. Beautiful. And as I said, I believe this is a linen silk blend, this one. It's an absolutely gorgeous fabric, textile. But she does have some discoloration. Maybe I can soak that out again, give it another soak. And there are 4 matching napkins, so it's quite special, this one. And again, the napkins only have the fork and spoon, which is really interesting. But those cherries are there. Very special piece, that one. Then I've got this very pretty linen. It's a bit bigger than a tray mat, but I don't know what else to describe it as. It's probably twice the size of a tray mat. It's hand embroidered. It looks a little bit like, oh, what would that embroidery be called? Let me bring it up to show you. So again, the lighting's really crap, isn't it? Let me see if I can. That didn't help, did it? I don't know how to get better light for you. But it is a white on white embroidered linen. We've got this beautiful Italian hem stitch, which has been done by hand. It's not machine embroidered. It perfectly mitered corners. And then these beautiful flourishes. There's this central design here in the corner. It's all blanket stitched around here. There's little French knots in the centre. And then we've got this beautiful, looks like could potentially be oyster stitch, or what's that other knot stitch called? Looks a bit like oyster stitch. There's some satin stitch, beautifully embroidered. So again, it's got some discoloration. They have been soaked, as I said, but I might put them back in, I think. See if I can shift some more of that. So that's about it for today. As I said, that was pretty well just a sneak peek. There will be more, and hopefully I can start the drop this Sunday. It's currently Friday afternoon here. And as I said, I'm hoping to get more kits pulled together, and this is potentially the start of another kit. I'm not entirely convinced I'm going to keep all these pieces in it, but I will be adding more to it. As I said, there's some lovely pieces in here. This is a very pink based kit, this one, pink and white. There's a little bit of ecru in there, and a little bit of green, almost like there's bits of green here and there. More green on these beautiful doilies in here, and the tray cloth underneath here. So this was the initial piece for this kit, as I mentioned earlier. And we've got this doily. It's really hard to fit all this in this monitor, isn't it? We've got this, another doily. I think I'm still not convinced this one works with it. It may not stay. I'm not sure yet. And then I want to put, I thought this looked fine inside, but she's a bit discoloured, so I'll try and find another crochet doily to add, because these are really good to use as layering pieces. I've been using them in my textile embroideries as layering pieces, the crocheted bits. And then of course I've got a napkin, a linen napkin with some embroidery. It's great to use as pages or pockets or something. I was going to add this beautiful hand-stitched fingertip towel. It's on beautiful, beautiful linen. The linen on this is just divine. And I love how it's selvage to selvage. That's how wide it is. There's no hems there. That's the selvage edge. So beautiful linen in that piece. So I thought that one could go in, and of course some lovely fabrics that work with it, vintage fabrics. Another pink bit. This piece I'm still not sure will stay, but it works with that initial tray mat. It sort of pulls these colours all out. It's not even on the bloody monitor. So the colours sort of all match in here and make them pop a bit. But yeah, I'm not entirely convinced about that piece of vintage sheeting at this stage. And then of course I was going to put this beautiful hand crocheted filet lace napkin, which would make a beautiful page or a pocket. And then we've got this piece of reclaimed Point de Venise lace. This beautiful, look at that. Imagine that on a piece of wool or something. Got this little wool scrap. It's not showing up very well on the monitor, but it's a glorious pink. I hand dyed that. And then we've got a pink soft cotton DMC vintage. And then this vintage hanky. And then I've got this reclaimed embroidery on linen as well. So that's the start of another kit. There will be more things added to it, and I will be swapping out a couple of those pieces, especially that crocheted doily that's discoloured, that I can see more clearly outside there. But I think I'm going to sign off, guys, because I've been under the weather for the last 2 days. I've been carting firewood this afternoon, which has done my body well. I'm sure I needed the exercise. But now that I'm cooling down and I'm still only in a t-shirt and the temperature's dropping rapidly, I've already got a sinus infection or a head cold or something, and my stomach hasn't been very happy. So sorry, I just had a funny noise through the headphones. Hopefully that has given you a little bit of a sneak peek, and I'm really frustrated that I couldn't go live on Instagram anymore. I only found that out this afternoon when I tried to get on. But anyway, that's a sneak peek into what's coming up in the next Destash. There will be more things. Don't worry, that to me looks a little bit boring. There's just tablecloths and tone on tone, and nothing overly exciting in that drop, but there will be more. I'm still working on it. I'm still pulling pieces together. I may have some vintage fabrics, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I'm going to go, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope that's given you a little insight into what's coming up. And again, I apologise that I had to shift from Instagram. Hopefully this drop will start this Sunday night. It's currently Friday night here, late Friday afternoon. Well, not that late. It's probably only about 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 2:30, 3:30, about 3:30 maybe. I can't see. Hang on. Let me see if I can see. Yeah, it's 3:30, 3:36 here. The sun's already popping down behind the mountains, so it's time for me to go inside and warm up again and put some dinner on. And Willow's been a bit sick too, so I've been feeding her small meals throughout the day, so it's time I go back in and give her some more brown rice and pumpkin, which I tasted, and it's really delicious. So anyway, I'm rambling now. I'll see you guys hopefully in my drop, as I said, hopefully this Sunday afternoon or evening on Instagram on my Destash page, which is Gladys and Maud Unearthed. If not Sunday afternoon, it will be Monday, I'm thinking. I've got a bit of a big weekend coming up, so considering I'm under the weather, I'm not sure if I'll make it by Sunday afternoon. But anyway, that's it for now. And once again, thank you for joining me. And hopefully I'll see you over on Instagram soon.